Okay, I wanted to come on here and share my perspective on the Kanye West concert. Well, first off, my boyfriend was the one that sent me the tickets, and and I immediately got told. I was like, "Yeah, let's go." I loved the concert. I think Kanye West is very controversial, and I think that's also part of like what makes him pretty successful as well, is the audacity of just being himself. And he himself is controversial. A couple things that I did notice though is that like when I brought up the name Kanye West to people like while I was in St. Pete, and they kind of gave like like kind of like a look of like I'm not sure how to respond, and I think it was kind of funny, right? But also kind of like we have all these like thoughts around what Kanye West is and what he stands for and all these things, and rightfully so, right? Everybody is entitled to their own opinion. But one of the things that, I kind of was like, dang, if I were in Kanye West's shoes, how would I feel if the one thing that always comes up is like, man, he needs to be on his meds, right? And when we're talking about mental health, for a lot of people, when we go through things like anxiety, depression, and other, conditions, mental disorders or mental health conditions, it's a touchy subject, right? And I think in this time and era that we're in, and we're, more accepting of mental health and more accepting of therapy and all that stuff, right? Which is great. I think that's been helpful. But the same token, Kanye West is a human being. Like, let's show some compassion because even though he has a shit ton of money doesn't really replace mental health, right? If anything, it just really amplifies what's going on in someone's, lives. All in all, though, the Kanye West concert was pretty damn good. His music, for me, even though I don't agree totally with him and whatever, his music has always been very powerful. It just kind of like vibrates, throughout my body. And honestly, like I didn't know how powerful his music was until I went through what I went through the last 2 years of having to go through so much internal change and so much identity shift and so much of like really like having to just kind of go through the depths and the depths of stuff and then having to come on the other side, right? It's just there's just a lot of ego death that I went through, and even now I'm going through as well, right? So his music and is just so powerful, and then going to the concert was just on another level because you're with I don't know how many thousands of people in one stadium chanting to his music, and it kind of humbles you. It kind of makes you feel one with the people around you, and it was just a really beautiful feeling. I remember feeling like so much gratitude and so much just like yeah, it's just so much happiness, internal happiness, right? To kind of be on the other side, right? Because I've been through the last 2 years, I was going through some pretty dark moments. And I think, the things that happened had to happen, right? A lot of the things that I, concluded to be security for me had to die basically so that I can rebirth on the other side, right? That's the way that I see it. That's the way I see my life. But basically, like the concert just was a moment kind of for me to just sit back and be like, wow, this is so amazing. This is so cool. And to hear the music that also helped me through this journey, it was really nice. And one of the things too that I admire about Kanye West or about his brand or is he has the audacity to be himself without anyone or anything telling him that you can't do this or you can't do that. And I think that's one of the things I admire. I think Dochi said the same thing, like the audacity to be, put yourself out there. Like, and so I really, really, really admired that. Yes, he's controversial. We all know this. Okay. Um, but yeah, I think that's kind of my take on the Kanye West concert. It was very humbling. It was so beautiful to see so much unity between people, just having a great time to some powerful music. And it's also very cool to see, someone, a human being, amass that much influence over people. I think it's pretty crazy, pretty wild to see. Even though we see him in commercials and everywhere, it was just a weird feeling to be in the same stadium with somebody who has that amassed that much I don't know if you would call it success, but influence, I guess. Yeah, so that's my take. Let me know your thoughts. I mean, it was pretty freaking phenomenal. I'll post clips, but yeah, he went through the entire album, or honestly, I don't even know his album to be quite frank. I know his music, I know his songs, but yeah, he went through, and we got there like I don't know, it was like an hour late, so we missed a part of the concert. Yeah, we need to work on that. But I got there just in time for I think the good stuff. To be honest, the first hour I think they were saying it was like the Yeezus album. I don't know what's on there, to be honest. I don't know the songs and differentiate between albums. I just know the songs that I like, and that's that. But yeah, he when we got there, he was like he played all like the old songs, and it was just a really freaking good time. And yeah, I think I'm very grateful to have had that experience for sure. Let me know what you guys think about the concert, if you've been to it or if you've seen it on social media. What are your thoughts on that? On the concert itself. Also, the globe was pretty damn cool too. I mean, he turned it into Mars, and then there was like clouds or made of clouds and lights that he posted that he had as part of his scene or his backdrop. But yeah, it was one of the best experiences I've had. I think. Let me know what y'all think.